Hi, I'm Chantal with 141 Design Company, and welcome to my channel. Hi guys, welcome back. It is Wednesday, July 30th. I'm a couple days off the schedule of coming in doing these on Mondays. We had a storm come through and we lost power, but it did give me a couple of days to get a few more things ready and gather some previous finishes to share that are Christmas finishes. And it also coordinated perfectly with an email that came in this morning from Cecilia of Heart and Hand. She has some new releases for us, and I thought we'd kick the video off with taking a look at those. So we've got the first one. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen so you can see it nice and big. He's super cute, and he's this year's Wee Santa. So here's Wee Santa 2025. And I thought I'd go over a couple little notes that Cecilia shared with us. She says that she has designed one now for 30 years. So she's got 30 years worth of Wee Santas and loves this year's offering, hopes we do too. And if you want to get any of the others, she does keep them all in stock. We do have quite a few in stock as well, and we can get more of those in if you want to get some back ears stitched up of the Wee Santa. But this is this year, and oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love the color variation in his red coat. I don't know what color it is. Let me see. Okay, the Wee Santa, it looks like it's licorice red. Yeah, because she did these in Classic Colorworks. So we've got Classic Colorworks in that one, and that is really, I think that's really poppin', really cute. But let's hear what she has to say about this year's Wee Santas. So she says when her girls were little, they loved to read nursery rhymes together. A memorable one for them went like this. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. Oh, so cute. So that's where the inspiration for this one came. So he's all dressed in his traditional Christmas red and green, and he has on his cozy little slippers and surrounded by a handful of happy Christmas geese. They aren't a bit worried about being incorporated into the holiday dinner. Colorful packages and snowflakes grace the scene. Christmas is coming. Okay, that's a must stitch for this year for sure. So I'm going to add that to the collection. Love that. And then the second release, actually there's two more releases, but the second one is, yes, another awesome Tiny Town. So this is Quilted Tiny Town, and she gave us a little bit of information on this one as well, because she said Quilted Tiny Town was born in her mind several years ago when she drove through rural Indiana on her way to a weeks-long solo design trip. The countryside was dotted with multicolored quilts painted on barns, sheds, and outbuildings, and the tiny town design grew to include a quilted-themed flag. I see that over the barn there. A birdhouse, even sunflowers, and even sunflowers in quilt block shapes. Okay, let's zoom in on that. Super cute. I love that one. And then, of course, we've got a frill that coordinates with it, and here is our quilted frill. So thank you so much, Heart and Hand, for getting that out to us. And we will get those listed on our website so that you can go ahead and get those ordered. Now, we do get, we are on auto ship with Heart and Hand. So these will not be coming right away, but they will be arriving in our shop sometime beginning of August. So if you do order them today, it will take a little bit before they get to you, but we'll get them there for you to get going on it. Now, let me show you a couple of previous finishes as we get into the Christmas in July series that I've got going on here. We'll call these Ghosts of Christmas Past. And they happen to be Wee Santas. So we've got a few. I've got 4 Wee Santas from previous years. I'm going to put the year that this Santa is here at the bottom, but show you some details on each one of them. They are stitched on 14 count Aida, and this one is finished on what we called a Stitchmate board. So with a Stitchmate board, what you would do is you get your piece all completely, like your piece onto a mat board and finished up, and then you give us a measurement out from that piece, as to how big you want it to be. So it's just a great classic finish to have a nice square that is dedicated and custom cut to the size that you need for your stitch. Each one of the boards also comes with a kickstand on the back that you could put on or leave off if you choose. But they're great for adding into your assortment of things, not overpowering the stitch at all. Because there's also, we have other things too, where sometimes boards can be a little more elaborate. This is also a wee Santa. I finished this up last year because some of these colors are new from the DIY paint line. And again, I will put the year that this Santa is here at the bottom so you can see him. But you can see how in this shop, when I put these together, I don't need all of them to be on a stand with trees. So some of them sit like this and they just coordinate so perfectly together. So that's another previous finish. And yet another wee Santa from Heart and Hand. Again, this one is also finished on the Stitchmate board. So you can see how well they go together. And I've painted both of these using the same green color from the DIY paint line. It's called Eden, this color. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself at the bottom here. I'll list the paint colors in the description as well. And then the final previous finish that I have to share with you is also another wee Santa on this cute little cottage, and it's painted with the bright blues to bring out the blue in the little elf and the snowflakes that are going on here. They're just so precious. And like I said, these have all been stitched on 14 count Aida. So the measurements would be listed on the site when you see each one of these listed. They are listed in the description box below so that you can go and explore them if it's something you'd like to add for your Christmas collection this year. So that's what I had for previous finishes. And now I want to talk about some of the other things that I finished up this week. The first thing, though, I want to share, so we were working on these three, the Hands-On Design Oh Christmas 3. All right, super cute. Love, love, love them. I have 2 of them finished, and I shared as new releases the new ornaments. I have them in a little wood box here. Let me take these out. This ornament trio that was shared last week, and it has 3 separate designs for the ornament trios, and I have 2 of them completely finished. I got really excited and went to town to try to get that 3rd one done because I had originally messed up and started stitching piece again. And I've got it this close and then realized my reindeer aren't the same. So it's like a situation of one of these things is not like the other. All 3 of these reindeer are supposed to be the same, and my first 2 are a little fatter than the last one, and the last one is actually the one that's correct. So I think what I did while I was stitching, I must have made the mistake stitching the first one. Then I copied the first one because I was probably watching a movie, and I copied the second one from the first one. Then I went back to the chart and must have stitched that one right. So I thought about just finishing it from here, and I still might, but I know I'm going to restitch it because they're supposed to be the same, and I like things if I can make it good and perfect, I will, because it's something that, I'm making and I want it to, I don't know, I like to do my best with it. So I'll just redo it and that will be fine. And then I'll get these up and all 3 of them will be out this Christmas. Now, something I wanted to talk to you about the ornament trios. These little guys, you've ordered so many of them, okay? These are flying out. They're so popular, and I love them so much too. But the problem is I made a little bit of a mistake. I had a ton of these white. We include the white mat boards. I had a ton of the white mat boards ready because I ordered those from another company, and we ran out. So we have more on the way. They will be here tomorrow. So we've had a little bit of a hold up on the shipping. They're all coming. I mean, it's still, maybe a week. It's not that long. But just wanted to let you know that we had to pause shipping those because I think I miscalculated in thinking about the fact that I'm thinking this set took 1. It takes 3, right? So That's on me. Sorry about that. But I love that you love them so much. And we've got more fun news with those coming later in this video. So that was the Oh Christmas Tree and the Ornament Trio, and I'm loving it. It won't take me long to restitch those reindeer, so I'll just fix them and restitch them later. Now, another finish that I did have, and this is what I worked on before I picked up that again, just so that I could get it finished because it was kind of my goal to get it done, and that was the Vintage Christmas. I've had it in my Cozy Christmas combo bag with some Priscilla's fabric and Lori Holt's Cozy Christmas. And my bags were made by Goose Design, these vinyl fronts that I've been using. I will link her also in the comments or in the description because she makes great bags. So I started this one about 3 weeks ago now. It's Hometown Holiday Sampler. It is by Lori Holt, and it's totally adorable, and I love the colors with it. Let me show you the colors one more time. Got them all. The DMC colors are what I used, and it's because they coordinate with a lot of other things that I've already started with one Christmas area in my house. I shared with you before that I have stitched the ornaments from the ornament collection. These have been done on 10 count. I'd like to add more to that. I also shared with you that I had made stockings, and I was going to bring them down. I was able to get them out of storage and share them with you. So I have one of these stockings. You can see I brought them all down. I'll show you just a couple. And they are done in the line from Lori Holt that is the Cozy Christmas fabric collection. I did check. In fact, Quarter Shop does have some of this fabric available. And I used the Ann Taylor Quilt As You Go quilt pattern just because I wanted them all to just be basic and the same and similar. And we just hang tags on them as far as whose Christmas stocking it is. So these are our Christmas stockings, and there's one for everybody. And I'm sure that our family will grow, so I know I'm going to need to do more. So that's why I wanted to go with a pattern I knew was easily something I could duplicate. I also did the Quilt As You Go pieces have a table runner as well. So I did the table runner, also using that. And these I did a few years ago. And I also have a tiny little tree skirt that is done out of this fabric. So this is one tree that I have in my house. It's not the only tree. And I like this tree to have bright pops of color and this fun, Lori Holt color vibe is what that particular tree does. So this year, by adding this sampler, I was able to get it finished, and it did fit. Remember I told you guys I wanted to put it on our brand new Parlor Proper piece. It fit just perfect. You can see it's all the way top to bottom. I have a little extra room here on the side, but it is a perfect fit, and I love it so much. So this has been done on 36 count Winter Brew from R&R Reproductions, and this piece is our Parlor Proper freestanding piece. I did paint it in a very grungy green. I used the colors Aviary and Fancy Farm Girl. There is brown underneath. There is some crackle on it. There is some vintage texture on it. These are all things that y'all are learning in the Finishing Touch course as soon as that is out next month. And I kind of incorporated those into this piece, and I love how it just really grunged up here on the top. I love this top display piece, and I did bring, you might have seen it before, but I did bring in the inspiration piece. Was this piece I picked up when we were in Amana, and Brian duplicated this part of it for the top. See how you can tell that? So this is one of our antique vintage reproduction pieces. We like to call it the reproduction line, and it's called Parlor Proper. I love it. I love it so much. So I'm very, very happy with how this turned out, and I like that changing. I had it on white. I talked about this before, but I changed it to this Winter Brew fabric and really like how it kind of toned those colors down. I'm also brought in, it's a previous fish. It's not Christmas, but it was the original piece I put on the Parlor Proper. And this was the piece from Brenda Gervais. Liberty is all I'm thinking of, but I know there's a different name. So I'm listing it here below so you see the right name. But this was the original piece I did on Parlor Proper. But you can see how, different the piece. I'll hold both of them up so you can see. It's the same piece, the same size. Measurements are listed on the website listing so that you know exactly what the measurement is on the inside of this piece. But you can see how it just kind of totally, it's, same thing, only different. Is that what I want to say? But I love that this was able to go Christmassy, and now that can sit in our house this year for Christmas. And since this is our first year in the new house, I loved that it had the little house on the bottom. I was going to make sure I put a photo of our entire family for 2025. I'm going to mat that and put that on the back. I'm going to mat the photo the same way I would if it was cross stitch. So what I do is I put the photo onto some of the press-on stick board, and then I even put some fabric behind that so that it looks cute and festive, and maybe a little note from me so that will be something that gets tucked away in our Christmas decor and can get pulled out year after year. So that was an exciting finish, and I'm so glad that I was able to at least get that one completely done. And before I put Christmas away, I think I will fix that reindeer situation so that I know that those 3 ornaments are done as well. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, though, as far as Christmas goes, and this is also super fun because it's something I'm going to be working on pretty soon here to get finished up for video for all of you. I've kept these inside this great mesh bag that Jessica made for me from Sweetwater Stitcher. She stitched all of that on the top, and it's so cute. And being the mesh bags are gusseted on the bottom, so you can put a lot of things in them. So I have in here last year's ornament collection. Every year we do an ornament box, and inside the ornament box will be 5 ornaments and 5 unique designs that go onto those ornaments. The designers that participate in the box are Hands On Design, Plum Street, Annie Bees, Teresa Kogut, and Robin Pickens. We have the repeat performance again from these designers for this year. I'm going to start talking about the ornament box now so that you don't miss out on ordering it. But much like the finishing touch kit, it is something that we will put a pre-order up beginning in September, and then they begin shipping mid-October. This allows for us to get all the ornaments cut, it's the numbers that we need, and things like this. I can keep it open because we keep it just charts and ornaments, and then they'll give you all of the details for, colors and things like that, and the called for fabrics and such. But I need to finish up last year's ornaments. So I wanted to bring these in and show you what we had in our box last year. And I don't know what this year is. They're surprises to me too. The designers are working on them. But I thought I'd show you the finish of them that I have. And then in the next few weeks, I'll come back with a video on fully finishing all these because I know a lot of you are also working on them and getting them ready for this year. The first one we have is Peaceful Snowman. This was in the box last year from Annie Bees, and Annie finished her piece on what we call the shiplap tag. The shiplap tag was the piece I finished, last week's Merry Christmas that I did from Hands On Design. That was done on the shiplap tag. Now let me show you the finish. So we've got it all stitched, and it's ready to be fully finished, and it will go on to this shiplap tag. So this was a cutie from last year, and I'm anxious to put this together now for a tutorial for you guys for this year. The next one we had, and Robin just really did such an amazing job with this because she gave it to us in 2 different colorways. It's called Snow Kissed Mittens. Snow Kissed Mittens was finished on our sled ornament, which is a classic and one of our most popular ornaments because there's so much versatility with it. The piece is stitched on raw. Oh, let me tell you the stitch count. Well, you guys have the box because these are exclusive to last year's box. So this isn't something I can put in the description box. It's just a nod to look forward to this year for the next box because this is the type of things that you're probably going to see. So I've got the finish done on this, but it does need the ribbon, the string, I guess, for the mittens to go on it. So that one goes on the sled. Then from Hands On Design, we had a home for the holiday. So perfect. Love it so much. And she had the round ornament that she'd finished hers on. Let me show you home for the holiday. So see, they're all stitched and ready. So now I can get going on the finishing tutorial for these for you guys. And then the next one I'll share, it came from Teresa Koget. It's so cute. Frosty Bulb. This one I was stitching last year. I guess so. When we were at Primitive Gatherings together. So I had Teresa autograph my copy. So it's kind of fun. So I have an autographed copy of the ornament bulb from last year. And I stitched this one on the 40 count. So here he is. Super cute. This one gets finished on our classic tag. And then the final one was from Paulette of Plum Street, and it's that adorable little donkey, All Is Calm. This one I did get the called for fabric for these. I think I did a lot on the others too, but I just might have pulled from my stash as well. This is, let me see, 36 count Seraphim. Let me hold him up. And he is stitched and ready for his finish and get on the tree this year. So these will be fun. And this is actually called our Liberty tag. You're going to see it again here in a minute, but this is our Liberty tag, and that's the one that Paulette used last year to finish All Is Calm. Oh my gosh, they're so cute, so adorable, and I'm so happy that they're all completely stitched. And now I'll put together the video on it and share that with you soon. So let me tuck them back inside this bag because I've been kind of keeping them all organized that way. And then, like I said, be on the lookout again this year. We have the next ornament mystery box, and this one is a mystery. Okay, you know the designer's in it, but it's a mystery, and I think that's part of the fun of the whole thing is that when you open that box, you've got 5 charts from 5 amazing designers, all to surprise you for all of your Christmas stitching, and of course, there's ornaments from me inside there as well. So, thanks for joining me on that. Now, the last thing I have to discuss as far as Christmas goes, and then we're going to wrap up Christmas in a nice little bow, or let's say ornament, I guess, is we do have another chunky. Last week, I released the chunky trees. I'll put a picture of them here so you can remember to see them. And I do have the winners for last week's giveaway. They'll be listed. The slide will be at the end. So you'll see your name. If your name pops up, then you're going to go ahead and email us and we'll get those trees out to you. But to wrap up our chunky series, this week we have an ornament. Let me grab it. I'm obsessed. I love it so much. I shared it as a sneak in a live that we had on Patreon, and now I'm going to share it with you guys. But this is the Chunky Ornament Sitter. I do have it embellished with the holly from our Holly Jolly Bits. I just glued the holly a little bit higher so it covered up the hole that's in the Holly Jolly Bits. And then I have embellished this one as well with some, it's German glass glitter, and it actually has real silver in it. So this silver will start to patina over time, which is like, I'm right up my alley for that. I want it to I love it sparkly right now. Look at how sparkly it is. Is it sparkling? I love it sparkly, but I also like it once it's patinaed, so that'll be fun. I did a really basic paint job on this one. This is just done in the color Carnival Red with the Holly Jolly Bits added to it for the decor on the top, but these are great for decoupaging, for grunging the edges, for spatter paint. So many different ways you could even put fabric on them and decoupage that way. So many different fun ways that you can zhuzh these chunkies up. So on that note, this is this week's giveaway. I'm going to give you a question at the end so that you know how to enter to be a part of the giveaway. You will receive the large chunky ornament, and we'll have 3 winners. It probably won't be until mid-August because I will be taking a quick couple-week break. The beginning of the month in August, we got to get ready and start getting those finishing touch kits out, okay? Because we're closing it tomorrow, the pre-order, and I've got to get those. So I'm going to take a break. I probably won't even be stitching. So I probably won't have a lot to share and show. So I'm going to take a break for a couple weeks while I make sure that we get all of your things done and I can be in the warehouse with the girls getting everything packed. And then I'll be back with more floss tubes after that. So this giveaway will be a couple weeks from now, but definitely enter. I'll tell you now. Enter into for this giveaway. Use the word ornament in your comments. And like all the giveaway things, you do need to be 18 years or older so that I can ask for your address. And then when we announce winners, you'll email us at info@141 Design Company to claim your prize. So that's this week's Christmas fun wrap up. Now, I'm going to take a break for just a minute so that I can put these things away and set them aside, then come back and talk about what I've got going on for the rest of the month and some wrap up on some things that I've got some stitching that I do want to take care of in August before I head full steam into the fall stitching. While Chantel's cleaning up that mess, let's talk about the finishing touch, okay? The finishing touch kit is a course in a box. The pre-order for that has been going on this entire past month. It will close tomorrow. So tomorrow night at midnight, July 31st at midnight, I will shut the pre-order off for that. We'll then have our final count. The charts that are included, it's actually at one chart, 3 styles, that's included in this kit is from Kathy of Hands-On Design, and the 3 boards that go with it coordinate with each one of the designs that are inside that chart. The chart and one of the boards is exclusive to the shop. So I want to talk about that. The exclusive design is on this tiny folk paddle. This is the mini version of our Christmas folk and the folk series folk paddle that is exclusive to the Hands-On Design pieces that Kathy designed. That is an exclusive inside the course. The other 2 boards inside the course are the mini everything board, and then there's also the 4 3/8 sized round shiplap. Each one of these is dedicated to a certain pattern and design on the chart that's inside the kit. Also in the kit, what you're receiving then is a complete tutorial and instruction guide on how to do 3 different paint finishes on these pieces. There are paints included, there's tools included. The only thing not included in this is basically the fabric that you're choosing to stitch on and the floss colors. That gives you the opportunity to change the floss up if you'd like, but they're easy to grab. They're DMC and Zweigart based fabrics. I just wanted to give one more shout to let everybody know, though, that the finishing touch is closing, and grab yours today. The link is in the description box below, and I'm going to put a few more pictures up of the finishes that Kathy has done and a few more details here. Okay, let's get into what I'm thinking about for the rest of August and working now towards fall. As you can see, I've pulled aside some fall stitching and some whips because I'm wagering that in August, I'm going to be pretty tied up with the packing. We've got a lot of kits to ship out, and I want to make sure those get out the door and then get prepared to do the stitch along portion of it in September after everyone receives. It's a large shipment of these things, so it does take us a couple weeks to do all of that, so don't really want to overcommit with the stitching. So what I did was I went through my whips and I pulled aside some that look like, they need some work done on them and I need to get them wrapped up. So these are just a couple. I've got one more that I might work on, but I'll show it to you the next time. The 3 that I put together, the first one, let's talk about this one. It doesn't have much left to do, right? So I should get going on it. It is in a vinyl front bag from Denise of Dot Dot Goose Design. And it is one that we collaborated with Brenda Gervais on as well. It's called When Pumpkins Glow. And it is completely finished on what's called the panorama board. All right. I have my panorama board stained, ready to go. I have the complete kit and a start on this piece. I've got all the rickrack and everything, but I just got a good start on the middle. So let me bring that pattern back in here and I'll show you. I started in the center, so I started with those pumpkin guys, or maybe it's a little girl and a little boy pumpkin head. And I've got them all finished. Then I was working on the grass on the bottom. So just the words, which it says, there's magic in the night when pumpkins glow with candlelight. So that's the saying on it. And there's just words on both sides. Since I'm just down to the words, I anticipate this should be, a quick finish for me. We will see. But I'd love to get this one finished so that it can be out and as a shop model or out for Halloween and ready to go. So that's one of my whips and plans for August. And then the second one, it's a new start and a little Patreon fun, we'll say. So I am going to be starting this classic haunt from Hands On Design. I have ordered the called for color for the fabric in for this one, and we'll have kits available as well if you'd like to join in on stitching a classic haunt. And if you want to check out what's going on in Patreon, they are receiving the link to, I also have all the called for floss, it's DMC. They are receiving the link to the custom finishing piece that I made to put the classic haunt on. And it is called Lid Happens. It is this adorable little kind of sided round box. It's all out of wood, and I just love it so much. I was really inspired with Nicole's finish, with her patriotic finish. I'm going to put a picture up here so you can see how she finished this cute little patriotic stitch. And she did it on a paper mache like box. So I was kind of thinking and noticed that a wood box would be really fun to have. And I did it in this round version so that we have a lid for finishing, thus the name Lid Happens. That's the name of this box. And I shared it in our Patreon live last week. So everybody that is in those, all the tiers plus the people that are in for free got to, hang out with the live and see that. And now this box will be available to the paid tiers 1, 2, and 3 to purchase this next month at a discounted price. This is a Patreon exclusive. So I'm going to finish mine on top of Lid Happens. I think I might finish it inside this circle round. I haven't glued it on there yet because I want to make sure I like that color all the way around it. The fabric is purple, so maybe white would also be a really good option. I might paint a couple of them just to see. But this is my prototype and my, start on my finish for that. So if you want more information about Lid Happens, like I said, it's available in Patreon first. It will be available to everyone within a couple months probably. We'll leave it exclusive to Patreon for a while. But it will be then at its regular retail price. So Patreon can grab it first at the discounted price, and that's happening over there. The next thing that I pulled aside, because I've had some of these done and I'm ready now to work on a few more. Let's show the first. Well, okay, I'm going to show the ones that are ready to go and kitted. I don't have a start on these yet. This is called the Gather Round series. It is also from Kathy of Hands On Design, and it's a series a few years ago. I remember, I think I've told you this story before, but I remember it like it was yesterday when I knew this series was going to be released. I was traveling and I made sure we pulled over so that I could get on my phone and get my order in, because I know how these things go. They just lickety split, right? They get sold out. And I knew I wanted these gather rounds to stitch because I think they're absolutely adorable. So the initial kit came with 3 magnetic rounds. Then when Kathy got ready to go ahead and release it, let me show you those. Did I drop them? Oh, where did they go? They're finished on the perpetual paddle. All right, hold please. I'm going to go pick those up. Oh, they're right here. Never mind. I found them. So what we did is Kathy reached out and said, that the magnet boards, they're great, but she wanted to be able to offer something that was readily available to people to finish them on. So the magnetic boards that came in there, you could swap out. So a lot of people had those, and they use those because they hang up really cute and are swap outable, and you can put them on with magnets. But we cut these for those who didn't get that initial one to make it easier to purchase. And that was the Perpetual Paddle Set. The Perpetual Paddle Set is an exclusive but to 141. It's a collaboration between Kathy and I, and it is a nice small round that's done on the 1/8 inch MDF. So it's nice and lightweight so that you can hang these as a little banner and paint them any color you want. And they have this adorable tiny little top to them with a nice little teardrop cutout. The paddle set, I'll let you know, that's exactly what it's called, Perpetual Paddle. It's a set of 3 for $14, and it's in the shop. It's also something that we send out to other shops, so you might be able to find this at Fat Quarter Shop and other places as well. Let me show you the first full finish that I have done with these. I had to bring the whole stinking shelf here because this is hanging up. This is hanging up in our shop as a model. Put this right up here. And it is hanging from this little antique shelf that we have hanging in the store. This one is, let me look at it, sorry. Gather Wildflowers. It is one that I stitched. And I have them draped underneath this little, so that's what I was talking about, how the Perpetual Paddle Set is lightweight enough that you can, hang them like a bunting. All I did was I wrapped the jute around them and just connected them together that way, and I just tied them on. Now, one thing I want to point out about the Gather Round series is that each chart has the 3 designs in it, and they have a different saying for the middle. So this is Gather Wildflowers, and Kathy charted it so that you can either stitch it over 2 or stitch it over 1. I stitched this one over 2. Now, I want to show you another one that I have ready to go. Ready? Let me put this over here. Whole giant shelf. How crazy, huh? That my niece Hannah stitched this set. It is Gather Butterflies, another one of the series. And that's this one. We have all 4 of these charts in stock because, of course, all 4 seasons are available. And she stitched it also on the 32 count platinum, but she stitched Gather Butterflies using the chart that charted it for over 1. So I wanted to show you the example. I think that is so pretty. She did such a fantastic job. Hannah just recently learned to stitch just a few years ago and has just been really having a lot of fun with it. And she does a few of our models, and these she stitched up for us. And I'm going to fully finish them also on this Perpetual Paddle and hang them in a similar way so that they can be swapped out. So this is the middle piece, or one of the pieces from Gather Butterflies. And then there's also a little greenhouse as part of Gather Butterflies. And then this really pretty quilt block. So it's got that signature hands-on design look with the pretty leaves and the back stitch giving you all of those pretty little details. And now I am over the moon excited to get started on Gather Pumpkins. Oh my gosh, look at these. It is the perfect fall grouping. So this trio is called Gather Pumpkins. I do have all of the pieces here ready to go. I'm going to be stitching it on 32 count platinum using the DMC called for colors, and then we'll get it finished up. I'm not sure about whether I'm doing Gather Pumpkins over 1 or over 2. I wanted to say wildflowers there for a second, but when I get to it, I'll make a decision. I love the over 1, but I don't know if I'm that good of a stitcher. Hannah's better at this than I am. She really did a great job with that. I'm so impressed. So that's the last of the whips that I pulled aside. I've got one more that's a Halloween one from Brenda Gervais. If I can get that one finished up, I'll get that finished up too. And because I've got a kind of a fun little finish idea for it. It's another pumpkin. It's super cute. It's super adorable. I'll see. We'll see. Time will tell, right? All right. The last thing I want to talk about before we get into just some shop updates and some details for, going forward here is we have also 3 new charts from Teresa Kogut in the shop. And they just arrived today, so we're listing them today because they're ready to ship and they're ready to go. The first one is a Biscornu booklet. that's called Land That I Love. Teresa's in a huge Americana kick, which I am 100% there for. And I've got some more details about this one we're going to talk about in just a minute. We also have Miss Liberty. Now, Miss Liberty is done on that Liberty tag that I showed you when we were talking about the Christmas ornament box. And there's also a companion, which is in another book. I'll show him here. And both of these are stitched on the Liberty tag. I love her, and I definitely want to do her this year. She is stitched on 40 count Hemingway by Needle and Flax to fit on the small Liberty tag. We also have another size of the Liberty tag, so if you need to stitch her on a lower stitch count, 36 or 32, it's probably going to fit on that larger Liberty tag. So look at our listing for that, and you'll see two sizes available. The third thing she has is the Sweet Lamb of Liberty. I hope it doesn't glare too much. Punch needle, which is so cool. I think I can do this. I think I need to get started on this punch needle. I have a Christmas punch needle kitted also, but I think this would be one day be nice to get going. For next year. I really want to have some good Americana next year. Now, I also have one more thing to talk about really quickly, and then I want to go back to this Biscornu book. But, all right, our sweet friend Allison, she had her baby. Oh my gosh, such a precious little bundle of joy. So Allison was one of the first people I met in the whole cross-stitch community. It was a long time ago at a retreat, and we were at the same table, and it was so fun, and I've just known her ever since, and Allison is just such a sweet, sweet dear. She just had her baby girl, and there is a stitch along going on to celebrate that with Tropic Troop from Plum Street. It's these cute little flamingos with a tiny little baby flamingo in there. She started it on the day she went in and had her baby. It's a little girl. And so this I have available. I need to kit it up so I can get going on this as well in memory of that sweet baby's birth. And if you want to join in on that stitch along, we do have a number of those available. So you can grab the Tropic Troop from our shop if you'd like. Let's talk a little bit more about Land That I Love, the Biscornu book from Teresa Kogut. You've heard Teresa mention her a number of times. She's considered the Biscornu queen here in the mid-Michigan area, and she lives near me, and her name's Donna Fidawa. Love her to death. We do a little stitch group together. It's so much fun. She hosts us in her home. She's a super gracious host. And her house, she has tons of these Biscornus. They're so pretty. They're all in like glass jars. They're so pretty. I will find some photos of them. I know I've taken some and insert them here because her Biscornus are amazing. And I've talked with her, and she's going to be coming in April to walk us through putting the Biscornu together. So I'm doing a 2-day event, April. I'm going to put the listing in the description box below so that you see more details about it. If you sign up for that event, you get 2 days of stitching. It's a fun little relaxed hangout retreat type of style, but you're also going to get Donna there helping you put your Biscornu together. And the Biscornu that you're going to bring, because it'll be part of your homework to attend this little retreat, is one from this book. So when you sign up for this retreat, sign up and know that this book is going to be sent to you. I will have 2 different signups. Okay, if you've already purchased the book, you can just sign up for just the weekend. If you need the book as well, then sign up for both, right? Sign up for the retreat that contains the book, basically. We'll get the book right out to you, and then you can start to work on your homework. All of the details will be listed on the listing for that. I have it in this awesome Teresa Kogut patriotic fabric bag that I'm keeping these in. And then just go to town between now and April with stitching tops and bottoms to your Biscornus, and then bring those together with you, and we'll supply the stuffing material and things. And then, of course, Donna will be there with her hands-on help to walk you through getting those put together. And you can put together as many as you can in a weekend. So go crazy, guys. And we'll have all of the wonderful Biscornus from her book finished and have fun together at that event. I'll be talking more about it, but go ahead and follow the link in the description below so that you can read more about it and get more details to this fun event. That's going to do it for me today, guys, and wrap it up. Now, I'll do one more plug. Make sure you get over there and get that finishing touch ordered if it's something you want. If you're interested in what's going on in Patreon, that link is in the description box below. Other than that, I am going to sign off and talk to you again probably somewhere mid-August. But in the meantime, follow along on Instagram and Facebook because I'll share lots of fun behind the scenes of what's going on. Maybe pop in every now and then. And I think I've got a live coming up on YouTube that you want to check out because it's going to be a fun paint with me experience. I'll post it on Instagram so you can see the details for that. But anyway, thanks for hanging out and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.